Hey, what's up? It's Achilles, and today we're doing another video. This time we're starting our OP11 leaders, and I had to start off with the 6K leader. That's just like my main red purple Luffy. But before we talk about that, I do want to shout out another red purple Luffy main who actually had your boy on his channel, and that guy is Rubber Captain. Go ahead, show him some love. He definitely had a good time on his live stream, which if you go, I think it's locked to the members only. So go ahead and join him as a member if you want to see that live stream. If not, you can at least see him with his latest video play our RP Luffy deck. So go ahead and check him out. Check out his other Luffy leaders decks. He plays all different colors, shapes, and sizes, and he also plays other decks as well. So go ahead and show him some love. I want to thank him for having me on. Had a good time. But let's go back to business. And now this is a deck that I was really interested when it came out. It isn't the same play style, but you do have a good choice of who you get to play offensively, defensively. You know, I had to play mine a little bit differently. And if you've seen any other lists, you probably haven't seen this guy here, Odin. Card that came back in OP09. He's double attack, and on KO, draw 2 cards, discard 1 card. I wanted to test him out because I was thinking, well, if we already have Sanji who's able to play him out, and we get the free ability to set this up anytime. If we're ahead, we can play him. If we're not ahead, we can always put him to the back and play him when we need to. This deck definitely revolves around this Sanji, so you want to ramp as fast as you can. This deck perfectly, and I don't know if you guys seen the anime or not, but this definitely comes out at a great time in the anime, and it kind of envisions the deck on like playstyle and what it does. And if you don't know, let's go ahead and read that. You may activate this effect at the start of your turn. If you are at 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, look up at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Straw Hat card, and add to your hand. Then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So this basically, it takes you some time to get to 8, but once you're at 8, you're able to use hockey and look into the future, observation hockey, and look into the future, set yourself up and for future turns and play. That's why I said this is perfect for this, because you get to draw a card and then you get to choose what you're going to play out with your Sanji. It's really nice. He can play anything but another Sanji out, so you don't want to play too many other Sanjis, and we don't have any other Sanjis in the deck. But you can play out the Charlotte Linlin, and one thing that a lot of people don't think of is if you can look at the next set of cards, if Big Mom plays the next card, or it adds the next card to your life, you can set up a trigger, which is why these cards here are great. Preferably, so Gum Gum is searchable, so if you need it, if you're at Adon and they have something that needs to go immediately, you can grab this to your hand. Or, like I said, you can set up a trigger where you get to a bottom deck of 5 costs or less with Gravity Blade, Raging Tiger, and with the meta and the cards that are really good into Luffy. Having this Gravity Blade kind of really helps you. It helps you against the Betty. It helps you against the purple green matchup. If you can get their key cards that are 5 or 6 or under, knock them out. It really makes your life easier. I thought I was playing 3 of these and 1 of these, but it looks like I'm playing 2 and 1. You have to have your gear 2. This is your ramp or counter. Gum is essential. Every Straw Hat deck. We do have It's to Die For, so when you are going against blue purple and you're not at 7, you can get there very quickly with with this card. And just having a trigger that ramps you always helps you when you're taking your first life. And generally they want to be aggressive against you. Bond Clay, definitely staple. You don't really need to have him, but he's always great to have. As well as Zoro Joro. I would actually Zoro Joro is good at 3. You want to place him against those decks that can't minus him. That way you can get some certain ramps, and then it's also a pseudo blocker. This card is great against those matchups that you're not good against. Again, it bounces a 4 cost. So if they plan on swarming you with a bunch of small bodies, you can get rid of their their potential attackers and still either attack into a body, or you can remove a blocker and go for game. So really good card to have. This Katakuri is really great. It's a blocker. It helps with the defense. It helps against those matchups, and the fact that you can swing and restand it and keep your bodies alive is definitely a plus. I wish there were some more big purple Katakuri cards that we could also play with these. But none that I saw that I liked. We have our Nami as a 2K. Last resort. She can bounce back a 3-cost blocker, so any chump blockers generally is what we're playing for. But we also have to have 3 cards in hand. So generally, if you're going for game, you play her out, and that's generally the time you would play her out. But most of the time, she's a 2K. You're staying at 8 Don is what you always want to do. So the Uchihashi is really good in this matchup. We're not really trying to Don minus that much. We want to get to 8 and kind of stay at 8 as soon as possible. That's it for this explanation. Let's go ahead and just get into the gameplay. All right. So we didn't like our first hand. Ended up going into, I would say, a better hand for like the ramp. I did notice mid. I always hit the use. This is a little bit better. We have a 3-cost play, and we're going into the purple green, where this is free. He doesn't have anything really to KO. Normally, they're just trying to play their own game, where they search and find. He got the Zoro Joro too late, so yeah, he swings very aggressively into me, adding 2 Don, and we're just looking at our hand. And I think I take a little bit of time here because I remember being able to play the Bond Clay and the Zoro Joro and the Gear 2, but I think that's ongoing second. Yeah, just having, I think we're like 1 Don short for sure from being able like to be at 8 next turn. So after figuring that out, we just go into our normal double ramp. We don't have to be greedy. It'd be nice. It would have been nice, but we're at 7. We could have left 1 up for the attack against us. We could have geared 2, but generally he's gonna play out a big card, and he's gonna like swing into our pseudo blocker. Yeah. Zoro Joro has done his job, and we're pretty much safe. He only had 1 attack. he does get to establish some bodies here, which our bond clay gets to use. And we draw into another big mom. So we're at 9 Don here. And we can't get rid of the Sanji pudding. But because we have another, and we may not be able to get rid of that Sanji pudding if he has to go and marry on the stage. We just have to be okay with that. And if we can't get rid of the Sanji pudding, no matter, let's see, and we'll ditch the Odin here. No matter how much we really want to, we'll get rid of at least one body. And it just puts a lot less pressure on us. We swing the board back our way. They can't swing into our life without taking out that bond clay first. And they're already start searching, which is initially these two are free because he has to return. And he has 5 Don up. Most likely he's playing a Sanji pudding. I would think, I thought. But he plays another stage and he's just doing a lot more searching. But he can still, like after searching, yeah, he can still play a Sanji pudding. Establish that. And he definitely could have waited on the go and marry, I think, and gave 2 to the Sanji pudding and like split it off. But who knew that I was gonna have a Charlotte Lin in hand and another Charlotte Lin coming? Just looking at it, there's a lot of counter here. We have a Gum Gum. We'll grab the Gum Gum, let him know. Probably should just grab the 2K, but we're going to just count this out right. We'll take the Lin to hand. Maybe I should have just took the 2K to hand. Yeah, we'll get rid of 1. Bam, 1 pudding gone. And we get to attack. We don't want to go Don minus again, just because we need to start at 8 and we're at 9 Don. That's the great thing if we had our 8 drop Katakuri, but we don't. So he's and he immediately Sanji puddings. So that's 3 Sanji puddings. He does his going merry, makes it a 7, gets his Don back, which is a lot of Don. To be at, we're at a 4 life leader. He plays down this Rush Luffy, and he has 3 swings at us. We have 4 life, so we can give him 1, take the 7 for sure, since we couldn't counter out of it. And we knew we put a 2K on top of our life. So we can either take it, dig for some more cards. But I think we're actually really good. Yeah, lots of 2Ks. There's our Sanji, which would love to have. Definitely would have loved to have sooner, but it's all right. We can still either set. Yeah, we'll grab them now. They know what we have. I think the play here was to play the Nami with the Sanji and just swing big into his characters. I didn't want the 7-drop Luffy to stay alive, because if he donned up and then swung into our bodies, that would have been a problem. But yeah, he has mad cards in hand. So instead of playing the Nami out like I wanted to, I mean playing the Sanji out into the blocker and then putting the Lin back into life and grabbing some counter. I think we just decided to play her out since we can get that. We got a lot of counter out of their hands, and now we have another pudding at the bottom of their life. Swinging for 6. So now we have 3 puddings accounted for, and now we have all 4 accounted for. We do have a lot of bodies, and we do have a lot of life. We have more life than what we started with, so we can definitely take some hits here. We have a lot of counter on the way, and if I would have played this out right, or if I would have just stuck with the same plan with attack from the beginning, then I would have probably put a 2k in life instead of that 1k, but it's fine. It's fine. We have a lot of life. We don't have another big coming, and he decides to swing 10 restand, which I was okay with. That's fine. Swings another 10. We'll give him 2 cards for it, and he leaves 1 up for Gum Giant. He doesn't want to turn his puddings sideways, and look, what do you know? He saw 4 Sanji puddings. I saw 4 Lin-Lins. I do want that Katakuri just to make the Gum Giants better, but it's alright. We can draw our 2. Well, no. We're going to draw a card we can discard, put a 2k in life, and play it that way. So we'll drop another big body, play that big girl out, pitch, and we're going to take that pudding and throw him at the bottom of life. Now we have a few swings that we can go into here. He gives us a 2 and a 1. He's going to have to give us another 2 and a 1, which he gives us a Gum. And now he's going to have to give us another 2 and a 1 if he has it. 2 and a 1. And we'll stop swinging here, because we don't want him to have the Charlotte puddings until we're ready to go for game. This is ideally what you want for purple green, is to see all your puddings and play them in consecutive turns. But this is also what you want to see as blue purple Luffy. We'll go ahead and give him 1 card. He does have a couple of swings on board, so we can't just take them all. We'll give him a 2k, and we'll go ahead and just counter out of this. We can just stay healthy. And yeah, he decides to give up. With only 2k and a Gum, he just doesn't have what it takes to take on what was that, 5 9s? 9999. Like, nothing he could do in the air. Alright, off to the next one. It is the Sanji matchup. Not a bad start. We have a ramp, we have a Zoro, we have a mid-game play, and we have a great gravity blade just in case he wants to try to swarm us early. We do get the Odin in hand. Not exactly where we want to see him, but who knows what we get. 8, we'll take that every day. We could have geared second out of that as swing, but we're okay with taking 1. Now we're just waiting for him to finish. Alright, back from the time skip, and it is our turn. We get a Bond Clay. We have a lot of cards in hand, but we're gonna get this guaranteed Bond Clay going. Swinging 7, being a little aggressive into him as he's aggressive to me. So this is definitely 2 swings whenever you're playing a Sanji Zoro. This is one of the red aggro decks that you have to be looking out for, just depending on how they build him. And he decides to give the swing everything, which we'll go ahead and take. He's not establishing a body, so it doesn't look like our gravity blade is going to do anything. We're going to go ahead and just ramp here. Maybe not the best thing. I think I wanted to establish the Sangoro, but also I needed to start doing this leader effect because I just need to start setting up my hand. If he's gonna play that aggressively so early, I just need to start building my board as wide as possible just to counter out. Now this Orange getting rush, definitely not what I was hoping him to play so early. But now we have our leader effect, and it's just perfect timing because we have our Katakuris, we have our Linlins, which is definitely perfect. So we'll get our Gum Gum Giant, and we're gonna place everything on top. And yeah, Katakuri's the play. He's playing that aggressive. I need to get a blocker out, and then I can worry about healing next turn after that. So I think that's the play. I'm just wondering if I need to like grab counter, which we definitely set that up. And first things first, we don't like the 9-drop on the board at all, but we also don't like how many cards he has in hand. So this is definitely just a 1K for him. I won't be able to swing with my Luffy into him, so we'll definitely take that into life. See if we can either get his life down or get his hand size down. I'm thinking if I'm him, I wouldn't counter and I just get my hand size up. But he does give me a 2K, which now I get 2 bodies on the field. And we're at 10 Don, and we can Gum Gum very easily. It may have been nicer to not Gum Gum, but we're gonna go ahead and block that. I maybe could have not done that, but he swings into life, and yeah, we go ahead and Gum Gum here, ditch the gravity blade because I don't think he's playing anything too small here. And now we're gonna see what he plays with Rush. I'm thinking he's being very aggressive and is just gonna swing into life again, leaving us with the Bond Clay. We do have to go down to 0 here, which we don't want to see, but we do have the Big Mom in hand, so we'll go back to 1. With him leaving the Bond Clay on the board and him only having 4 cards, we can pressure into him. As of right now, we definitely need that Gum Gum Giant and the 2K. I think everything else can go back into the deck. We'll put the Katakuri a little further down just in case. Oh yeah, because we don't want to Gum Gum. We don't want to grab that with Gum Gum. So now he has 9/9 on the board. We're gonna go ahead and take a 1K from him, and he gives us that. And we're gonna go ahead and get another free 1K from him. This Bond Clay actually putting in a lot of work. Normally they do not. Now, just determining what I'm gonna do here. Maybe should have swung 8 at face, but I do want to keep him a little starved. We're going to pitch our rush. I don't think he's gonna play a 4-cost blocker or anything like that. And we're not really in a rush here. I think we can kind of play this a little bit slower now that we have the blocker and the gum gum down. I mean, he could play another body and rush, but he doesn't have a lot of cards in hand, and he continuously is countering out aggressively when I feel like he shouldn't. Yeah, he shouldn't have, but he swings the 10. That's gonna give the gum gum and a card, or a block and the card and some cards. So we're gonna do no block. We're gonna go ahead and give him gum gum and a card. We're gonna trash out that guy. We do end up getting the Katakuri in hand, so if we do fall into a Sanji, we won't be able to play that Katakuri out, but it is what it is. We need to protect ourselves. We do have a good amount of counter, but no active Dawn. He's gonna go swing 10 again. Just trying to understand. He has 8 Dawn. He could play out another 8-9 or something like that. And I do have a good chunk of blockers. If he does play something out and rush me, then I'll have to take the life regardless. I know I can counter out. I can counter out of that. Yeah. We end up just getting him. We want him to commit as much Dawn as possible. We probably can't go for game, but if we can get another blocker out, which we have 2 big blockers out, we may be safe. He may have some unblockable stuff, but we do have a gear second too, so we do have a good chunk of counter. He swings 8 and will counter. And this I did not expect. Putting a lot of Dawn on the Sanji and swinging 10. Where I thought it could have been game, but we had just enough counter. So we do get the Sanji here. But we're gonna grab the 2K for counter. And draw the Sanji here. I think he took a life, which is going to make this a lot easier now, because now he has to deal with some 9/9/9 action, and we have all our Dawn up. So I think, yeah, it's going for game now. He does have a brain freeze and then decides to concede. We look at life. And yeah, it was not looking good for him. All right, and now we're going into our blue purple, into the Blackbeard. Now with the hand that I have now, a lot of on plays is not great, but the hand I drew into on the mulligan is really good. We have a lot of win attackings, and this is kind of what you want to see against the Blackbeard. Now, it's hard for the Blackbeard player in this matchup because you see my hand and you know he should definitely turn off on plays. But if he does turn off on plays, then we punish him and we drop the Zoro out. But because he doesn't turn them off, then we use our on plays and we go for our for his blocker. I assume he would play his blocker and block for that and search again. just to get more cards. He actually plays a Jesus, which if I was a greedy man, I could just attack into. But he does not do leader effect again. And I think that's just because he wants to save it for the 9 Dawn turn. But that puts us into getting our leader effect. And then I can swing 7 here. I think I could have swung 7 without playing the Bon Clay and then just play Bon Clay Zoro Joro. But we decided to go wide here, where he does his liberation, gets rid of one of our Bon Clays, but we do have another one, and yeah, he decides to quit because that's a lot for him to deal with. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Alright, Purple Luffy. Now, this match up, I would say you're favorable. He does spam, and he does spam earlier, but you spam later. So it's on him to have the gas early, because we're gonna stop by the gas station at 8 Dawn and really show him who's cooking with gas or grease. I had a metaphor there, it's gone. We're just gonna keep on rolling. He plays his Bon Clay out. We're gonna play our Zoro Joro out because he doesn't have anything to pop, is my thinking. Now, am I right? I believe so. He goes up to 8 Dawn, which I was confused, and I was like, maybe he wanted to swing and drop the Luffy Taro. We didn't give him anything for the Bon Clay to swing with, and he rests our Zoro Joro, which I don't hate. So he went up to 8 to swing very hugely into our Zoro Joro. We had the Bon Clay. We could have played the Bon Clay. We could have played the Bon Clay last turn, played the Bon Clay this turn, and been at 8 Dawn. But we get punished for not thinking they're going to go after our Zoro, not drop a 2K and go after our Zoro Joro. Which I feel like I'm okay at this point. He is at 2 life. I have a 9K swing. I'm looking for that Gum Gum Giant, but he does not give. He has a lot of cards in hand, but he definitely only has 1 life. And we're at our 7 Dawn. We're not at our 8 Dawn that we want to be at. But we'll go ahead and give him a 1K. And he drops his Katakuri down. We don't have a lot of cards in hand, but we can't do our leader effect, so it really hurts that we didn't just play the Bon Clay. These turns here would have been a lot better. Being able to drop that Sangaro out or something like that. We're gonna copy his free 8K that he's given us, giving him an out with Gum Gum Giant. Or we're gonna see if he's gonna block and give us a card. We're thinking on playing the Luffy. We don't have a lot of cards in hand, but we do want to. We do, if we're gonna play a big body, or if we're gonna play any big bodies, we don't want that Bon Clay to attack at us for free. So we'll go ahead and swing 8. We'll let him do the 8 and the 1, and then he has to deal with the 7 swing, which is going to be 2 cards from him. And we're looking pretty solid here. we have a pseudo blocker that they have to go for. Definitely have to go after that. And we're just looking at the trash. There's 2 rushers there. We did forget that Usahachi can't attack, and he gets that free swing there. He can play a rusher out. I think Rush Luffy or Luffy Taro is what ideally I would play in this situation. I don't have that many cards in hand, so if he swung 8 at my Luffy to make me try to protect him, and then play out like Luffy Taro, use the rest of the Dawn to, and that I did not expect. He can definitely have. I don't have enough to protect it, and he plays the Bon Clay out again, which is a good play, definitely on his part, because if I do play out a big body, he's gonna be able to copy it with the Bon Clay. So just thinking about the possible plays here, Odin will not come in handy at the moment because he does not have 2 lives. So we're gonna go ahead and get a counter event to hand, set up the Katakuri, and get our board state back together. We'll go ahead and go at face because we want to narrow down the cards that he has in hand. Now we'll grab a 2K out of him, play 2 bodies, and now he has 2 huge swings. I couldn't do anything about that Bon Clay. Yeah, nothing I can do about that Bon Clay. And he ends up getting rid of my Katakuri again. So now he has 2 huge swings. I have 1 huge swing. And he has a blocker on his side. Very good card to get rid of an 8 drop body. It is negging you 1. So if you don't care about being negged 1, that's totally fine. This is going to be a free counter. And then we can take this one, giving us our Gum Gum. And he swings another big into us, giving us another Gum Gum. Nothing but counter in hand. But we see the future. And the future can give us a rush. Or it can give us a Raisin Tiger Blade. And I think that's what I'm going to go for. No, actually counter. Yeah, actually counter. And we're still going to get that Raisin Tiger. What this is we'll go into life looking for more cards out of his hand, and now we're just gonna make it where he can swing into us only 2 times if he doesn't have a rush, but we do have tons of counter now with a Gum Gum, so we can I'm trying to see how much down I want to throw on him. If we use 7 there, I can use like 2 Dawn. 2 Dawn gets me up to 8. I can swing that 8 into the Katakuri, try to get 1 card out, or I can swing that 8 into face and try to get more than 1 card out. And we just want the Katakuri gone. If we can get all the bodies off the board, that keeps us safe. But we do get a 2K out of it, and now we can remove those 2 bodies, leaving us with 1 body, 1 life apiece. Now, who's to say if he doesn't just split here and go into face? I'm guessing with the amount of cards, that's not smart, especially with one Don up. That goes into my favor. So you're just gonna test the waters, see how much counter I have. I show him that I have some counter, and he goes ahead and double swings into me, which means he's gonna use 9 Don for something. Trying to decide if I lose one of these 2Ks. I'm like, let me go ahead and just try to go for game next game, and then I forgot. Oh yeah, double blocker. So we use card action. We get a Sanji, but we don't get. Yeah, we don't get what we're seeing, what we want to see here. We get a lot of counter here. There's a lot of counter in hand. There's a lot of counter everywhere. So what we're gonna do is, yeah, we'll place this on top. Make sure we get the Gum Gum Giant. That Gum Gum Giant is then gonna grab us a 2K and a Gear 2. So now with only 4 cards in hand, I think what we do here is we just keep 2 cards up, one for Gum Gum, one for Gear 2. He has a lot of blockers, and we can give the rest of the Don to Sanji, and yeah, we can either give the rest of the Don to Sanji, or we give most of the Don to Leader. I decided to go ahead and swing 12 here, and he takes with another 11 here, to see if we get the block counter, if we could just get the block. See how much counter. We've been draining him of counter, and yeah, he did not have enough counter, or he didn't want to do that counter until keep it for life. Not sure what his play here is. He does have rush cards, or he could just evenly split that Don up and assume that I have some dead cards. But I do have some dead cards. But I definitely have a Gum Gum Giant. And he decides to swing into my big body. Just giving us to 13. We'll go to 15, and we still have a Gear 2nd. Just trying to do the math on if he can swing again into our Sanji, but he ends up playing a blocker instead. He does still have a lot of cards in hand, but we do have a Sanji now and a Katakuri that we can play for him, as well as a Red Rock to get rid of his leader. I'm not his leader. His that'd be crazy if he got rid of his leader. But nah, to get rid of his 8-drop blocker. I feel like I have so much counter in hand that I can go ahead and just take the 1K. We'll put the Sanji at the bottom. That gets set up for next turn. We'll draw the Gear 2nd, and then we'll play out the Katakuri. So we'll start with a 9 swing. That's gonna take the Onami out. We'll go ahead and play these 2 bodies, and we'll swing 6. This is a free block for him. Just trying to see what he will do. After some time of thinking, he does decide to block. I mean, it could also have been a Gum Gum to look for cards, but maybe he decided to keep him. He now has a good chunk of cards in hand again. but so do I. He'll give us a swing for 6. We'll counter 1. Swing for 8. That's an easy gear. Second. And now he plays out another category blocker, standing them both up. This one, I think the best thing is grab the 2K, surprise him with the, oh no, we end up just bottom decking. Yeah, we end up just bottom decking. We lose a Sanji. We did get to play out 2 Sanjis, but let's not be too greedy. The rest of the cards weren't too great. We'll give him a 9. We'll swing at 8. Yeah, a 9. There's too many big bodies on board. Yeah, go ahead and just do his effect. That way, if he does counter, we have a 7 and a 9 swing that he has to deal with. We block your body, 7, and then, yep, definitely in the trenches. So I hope you enjoy those games. Definitely have fun. Definitely didn't turn out how I thought it was going to be. A lot tougher matchups and games there. But as of right now, I kind of like where the deck is sitting at. The Sangha rolls are surprisingly better than I thought they were going to be. I threw them in just to have like a 5 Don play that wasn't Nami. This one's a little bit more aggressive and you can draw cards. Generally, if you ramped and like you're at like 7 Don, you play him down. Next turn, you swing and get to draw and just find more of the cards that you want. So he kind of worked out more. Odin, I didn't find a really good time to play him. So I'm still on the fence about him. I want to try him at 1 and also try out a Mihawk. Because Mihawk can bottom deck a 7 cost, which also helps against the purple Luffy matchup. You can get rid of their Luffy Taros. It also helps against the purple green if they buff their Sanji pudding up to 7. You can still bottom deck it. So it may be either 2 Mihawks or 2 Odins, just depending on which one will give me the more value. And I think maybe I might lean towards that Mihawk. Everything else felt solid so far, but this is where I like to hear from you guys. Let me know down below how you feel about the deck, what I should change, what I should try, and just to give you the reasons why I don't play the Luffy or the Kaido is just I was going down too much Don. Playing the Luffy out is good if you have the category out, because you still should be able to have 1 Don and you don't have to worry about going to 7 Don out. But if you don't have the category out, going to 7 after doing the Gum is something that you have to think about. Same thing with the Kaido. Yes, you can control their board, but you lose so much Don. And with us not playing, we do have a lot of ramp cards, but we need to be at 8 at the beginning of the turn, not after the turn. That's just my thought on that. But let me know what you guys think. Till next time, I appreciate it if you were here for only a minute, a second. Doesn't matter. Thank you. We're out.